G'day everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action. Today we're going to talk about 10 metal albums where the title track is the best track on the album. Let's take a look at my 10. So this video is a response video to Thomas over at the Mercyful Metal channel. He started this thread maybe nearly 2 weeks ago, 10 days, 14 days ago. And I know there's been some responses already, and I've done my best to not yet watch them because I wanted to do a response to this. And already I've managed to avoid seeing anyone's videos. I'm going to catch up on them after this, but I was already influenced and had to include one from Thomas's own list. And this is the problem. I'm like, of course I've got to include that one. But yeah, if I watched anyone else's yet, I'm sure I'd be cannibalizing their lists into mine. So this is, with the exception of one, just 10 things that I thought would be good selections here. The first one I'm going to show is a bit of a trifecta, because this is Angel Witch with their album Angel Witch and the song Angel Witch. I like it when that happens, you know, when you get the 3 in a row. That's a good trifecta, and this is a great one. This is one of the earliest albums in my collection, actually. Classic new wave of British heavy metal from 1980 on the dot, the year I was born. And yeah, one of the oldest records that I own. I don't have, as I said before, don't have much in the way of anything before 1980, like maybe 2 albums in total. Anyway, Angel Witch here. Obviously, the title track is Angel Witch, and it opens with that track here. Wonderful logo, great logo there. First track, Angel Witch, and it's just, I mean, it's an absolute just classic of what this band was going to do. It's their mission statement. It's not the only time I'm going to say that, I think, in this video. It's just a banger with great fast leads. It's quite, I mean, it's 1980. It's heavy, but it's not, you know, big booming heavy sound. It's still got that, obviously, that 70s influence in it, in the way it's put together and the production, definitely. But you can tell we're definitely in metal territory here. This is not just a hard rocking song, which I'm thankful for. So yeah, really good one. I've got to be careful how I hold it. It's a very old sleeve, and it's starting to pop out the bottom. I need to glue it up. But yeah, the chorus of Kevin Hayborn's line, "You're an angel witch," it will just stick in your head. You hum it in the shower. It's one of those ones. I'm singing it in my head right now. You probably are too. And then, yeah, towards the end of the song, the band joined in with that, "You're an angel witch, you're an angel witch." I think I did a pretty good impression there. And it's just so hooky. It's great. It's the best song, I think, on the album. I mean, the whole album's great, but, you know, it stands out for me. It's a great album opener as well. And being the name of your band and your album, I mean, it just tells you, this is us. That's what it says. It says, this is our defining moment. I can't argue with it. So, yeah. From some of the earliest and most important new wave of British heavy metal, Angel Witch with Angel Witch on Angel Witch. And I hadn't mentioned I was just doing these in alphabetical order, which means we're up to the one where I was cribbing definitely off Thomas's notes. I couldn't leave this out. Atheist, Piece of Time, with obviously the track Piece of Time. Another one where the title track is the opener. Fantastic original press here out on, what is it, Attic? Is that the name of the company? Active Records with the old promo sticker there, ATV8. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the opening track of an album is your mission statement, and that really works in your favor when it's like just an explosive opener like this one here. You want your lead-in track to be your best, and for me it really is here. It was for Thomas too. I love the jangly bass that starts this one off, and the very, very sort of jazzy drums. It's just sort of the bass and the drums. The guitar isn't there yet. When the guitar comes in, it's not like heavy, chuggy chromatic riffs or anything. It's that kind of disjointed riff that would have made traditional death metal fans at the time go, "What?" And even, you know, thrash metal fans at the time going, "This is a bit weird." But if you got it, you got it. And obviously, I was late to this one. I didn't get it till about 10 years after it came out, maybe 9 years. But man, this one sung to me as soon as I got it. This was fitting in with that. To me, in my personal journey of music, obviously this isn't chronologically when it happened, but this is the kind of stuff that I felt fit with, like Death's Human. And yeah, I didn't particularly like the Death albums after Human, but yeah, I kind of wish they were a bit more like Atheist here. And this is just great. It's got that heavy creeping sort of staccato rhythm section in the middle there. It's awesome. The whole song just feels like a series of progressions all connected together. Really, yeah, making it that sort of technical progressive death metal or whatever you want to call it. These guys were pretty much just, you know, out there on their own. The only real peers of that type were sort of Cynic's first album, but really these guys had more meat on their bones, I think, than Cynic's Focus. And they're still going now. I think they might have just played at the MDF Fest. So, you know, great stuff. Most people tend to like the Sophomore album more. I'm old with this. I think Piece of Time is their best. I mean, Unquestionable Presence is unquestionably good, but yeah, Piece of Time for me, totally. And I love, I mean, there's a solo in there. He just sort of just keeps going and going. The gravelly vocals, when he snarls Piece of Time at the end before a series of dive bombs, it's just so good. The whole track's amazing. And then it ends on basically a blast fest. Awesome. It's such a great opening track. Atheist, Piece of Time. There's the boys on the back in their Canadian tuxedos looking amazing. Big smiley face over there. And yeah, Atheist, Piece of Time. Best track on them. Probably their best album. We've got a few evil-sounding thrash albums in a row coming up here, and this one, amazing. And I always love the cover art on this too. Blood Feast, Kill for Pleasure, with obviously the title track, Kill for Pleasure. The second track on this album comes in with a very Slayer-esque, churning-sounding riff. And at the first minute, that's when it really gets the speed and the real thrash kicks in. It's so good. I mean, there's faster tracks on the album for sure, but the title track here makes it really good use of that mid-pace, just sort of thicker, nasty sound. But then it flips into short, sporadic bursts of just being faster thrash. Absolutely love it. So good. There's the guys there looking incredibly thrash. But this is one, and I'll say this on a few other things, another one of those songs where it's all about the chorus for me. It's essentially about, it's like a stalking slasher movie. Kill for pleasure, satisfy the need. Kill for pleasure, make her bleed. Nice and misogynistic there for you, but quality stuff. It's such a ripping track. Yeah, and it's got like a little loose like whammy bass solo in there. It's rough and ready stuff. Really love this one. Great album, fantastic title track, easily the best on the album. Blood Feast, Kill for Pleasure. What an unparalleled classic of early brutal thrash this next one is. And I don't play this enough, to be honest. Dark Angel with Darkness Descends. With the opening track, Darkness Descends, absolutely setting the tone of this thing. With those monstrous Gene Hoglan double kick bursts, which, if you approach this album afterwards, like I did, you're going to go, wow, that sounds a lot like Metallica's One, except this came out 3 years earlier, and it's better. I think somebody may have copied them on this one. There's actually rumors floating around that Lars couldn't do the double kicks in One, so got Gene to do them because of this album. Who knows if that's actually true? It's a great urban legend if it isn't. But yeah, Darkness Descends, man. The riffs in this is all about speed. This is just a fast, brutal attack. Spiteful, venomous vocals on this, especially over there's a 4 times repeated chorus. Gets more unhinged each time it's delivered. The city is guilty, the crime is life, the sentence is death. Darkness descends! And he does that 4 times. By the last one, he's basically just screeching that thing out. It's unhinged. It's so good. Got some really sensational dual guitar solos from our guitarist. Where are we here? Lead guitar and lead guitar. There we go. Two blokes there. Amazing guitars in this one. But yeah, obviously for me, it's Gene's drumming. It's the absolute highlight. He is the atomic clock. There he is there, looking a lot more hairy than he usually is. You can sort of hear, particularly in the last sort of half of this, when it just gets so fast, I start hearing comparisons of like Pete Sandoval on like Altars of Madness. I reckon Pete must have had some serious inspirations off this album. Even Terrorizer, like it's getting fast. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if there was some inspiration there from Gene on this one. It's all ferocity. It's all the time. This track too is nearly 6 minutes long. It's pure brutal thrash classic. Darkness Descends from Dark Angel. Next up, we have Canadian speed metalers Exciter with their third album, Long Live the Loud, and obviously the title track itself, Long Live the Loud. I think a lot of people, including me, think this is, cite this as their favorite. It's sort of this one and the Sophomore, I don't know, for most people. But for me, it's Long Live the Loud. It's the first one I got. It's just a stellar slab of Canadian speed metal. Canadian metal! Getting some Fenris action. But yeah, the title track in here is also the second track on the album, though. It's kind of really the first one after the opening instrumental. So it's really just, there's a long intro and then bang, we hit Long Live the Loud. Heavily influenced by Motorhead in the main riff. You can hear it straight away. That sort of overkill sound, absolutely in this. It's again another one of those songs where the chorus, that just steals the show for me. It's just Long Live the Loud, repeated 3 times, and then we are loud and proud. So good. Long live the loud. Oh, good stuff. The last line with it's Dan Beeler, I think you say his name. His vocals approaching sort of King Diamond range at the end, like we are loud and proud. It's just so good. I really shouldn't have done that, but anyway, he does it a lot better than I failed at miserably then. It's just glass shattering almost. So good, so well practiced. The leads here, very loose and fast, really going in with that that Motorhead sound again. Dirty metal sounding track, really. They're a rougher and more raw band than you kind of think when you go, oh, yeah, this kind of epic cover, Exciter. Yeah. It really is a bit more dirty sounding than you kind of anticipate, and I love it for that. Whole thing ends with like a rapid double kick with sort of the bass guitar having a bit of like a little line, like a solo kind of thing going on there. It's really good. And then one more, so good. There's one more stab at screeching the title of the song. Just belts it out. All your mirrors start shattering. It's just, chef's kiss. Exciter, Long Live the Loud. Long live the loud! Next up is a rare example where I think the best track is on the B side, opens up side B, Infernal Majesty, None Shall Defy. The track's so good, the band decided to do the video clip for this song, even though it's the side B opener. Doesn't usually happen that kind of way, but this is a menacingly evil, heavy, stomping riff of a song. It's got the sort of a mid-pace throughout, like it's not their fastest song. I mean, that's what happened with the video clips. They would not, bands would tend to just use the slightly toned back so they could get on MTV, not the just brutal thrasher. Not always, but if they had the option, some bands would take it. And Infernal Majesty definitely did pick the one that was a bit more crunchy and not just nasty, fast blast the whole time. But man, the content of this outslayers Slayer. Absolutely. My God. The lyrics, okay? Kneeling at the altar of Satan, we pledge our allegiance with our lives. Demonic power signals now in the hour, and the bitch of Christ shall die. Now, that's deicide stuff. So good. Infernal Majesty, man. None Shall Defy. Some quality 1987 dark and evil thrash here. And I really think this kind of song where it's more mid-pace really works well for the band. It gets even slower in the second half. Not like, Doom or anything, but when it gets that slower sound, has more room for that guitar solo to shine when it comes through, and borderline, this is what I love, borderline death metal style chugging riffs, just because they've slowed it down and everything's just so more drawn out. Brutally heavy stuff. Honestly, this album would have fit nicely after Hell Awaits before Rain and Blood. It's like that evil early Slayer sound. I mean, these guys weren't trying to hide the fact what they're doing here. But man, look how metal they are. The whole thing, everything here is just beautiful metal. Really is a truly evil accomplishment. And that last line on it, Satan, Master, lead us to hell. Just lead us to hell. None shall defy Infernal Majesty. Alright, I'm bending the rules here a little bit by including an EP, but what an EP, and it was the first thing that the band did. So, it predated their first proper full-length, so I'm including it. Lizzy Borden with Give 'Em the Axe, because this title track, that is just Lizzy Borden for me. They knew it. They made a video clip for it. It is their song. Give 'Em the Axe is the Lizzy Borden song. I mean, it's Lizzy Borden. You know Lizzy Borden. Obviously, Give 'Em the Axe is the song you choose because she lopped off people's heads with an axe. I mean, that's the point. So good. Full year before the full-length Love You to Pieces came out. And it's another one where the chorus for me is the reason for this song being here. It's a total sing in the shower song. Just give 'em the axe, a demolition blow. Give 'em the axe. You never, never know. It's really the delivery of that. Give 'em the axe. You know, it's the kind. I mean, like Power Trip almost did that later. It's the kind of same delivery. It's so good. He repeats the chorus twice and changes that last line each time. So it switches to put 'em up or go, and then and tonight we'll steal the show. It's just a bloody metal banger, this one. It's not a complex song by any means. It's barely 3 minutes. It's just this is Lizzy Borden. This is what we do. Here's 2 minutes and 50 seconds of exactly what we're going to give you. It's so good. It's actually quite just straightforward rocking number. It's incredibly metal. You're not going to get any boogie rock here, but it's not complex. It's just got two verses, pre-chorus, ripping solo, and real pummeling drums, just big hammer hitting. You watch the video clip, just pounding on the snare. So big. Great sounding stuff here. It's not only the best song on this, admittedly quite short EP, and one of the tracks is just a cover as well, the Long Live Rock and Roll. Rainbow cover, I think it is. But for me, I mean, this, as I said, this is just Lizzy Borden's song, Give 'Em the Axe. They peaked on this track. The album that came after, and then the one after that, it's all great, but yeah, Give 'Em the Axe. This is the song for Lizzy Borden, so I had to include it. Bend the rules slightly. Lizzy Borden, Give 'Em the Axe. And we're back to that evil, devilish sounding thrash again with the fantastically named Power from Hell from Onslaught, with the track, it's actually called Onslaught, and in brackets, Power from Hell. So you kind of get a double banger again here. Opens first with a pre-track intro just called Damnation, which is just sort of this demonic voices just leading you into it, and then bam, it hits you up with that title track that's also half the band name and the album's name at the same time. I mean, why not? Just do it all at once. It's just another example of a mission statement for a band. So good. Out of the gate, evil, but still punky thrash at this point. By the Force, it was less of that punky sound. They were just straight up metal thrash. But these guys were a bit of a hardcore punk band before this album. And this was their, like, let's just make it evil and more metal version. By no means is this a punk album. It's totally a metal album, but you can hear that that influence from the earlier years. Just hardcore punk thrown in there as well. And it's got some great lines. Again, some lyrics in this one. With the wrath of Satan in our minds, we take the stage to play for our lives. Power, power, power from hell. Just so good. I mean, and that cover artwork, beautiful stuff. It's ugly, it's underproduced, but it's ripping and a headbanger from start to finish. Like I mentioned, the Force is, overall, for most people, the Force is the better album from Onslaught. But when you want their ugly version, when it actually says death metal at the top, it's not death metal. But, you know, if you want the ugly version of Onslaught, this is the one you chuck on. Onslaught, Power from Hell. There's just no denying it. So the next one was a real easy pick for me, actually. One of the first ones that came into my head. And the first time I heard this title track was not performed by the band. It was the Swedish death metal band Hypocrisy that did a cover on their Final Chapter album of Razor's Evil Invaders. I'm singing in my head right now that chorus. So are you. You are now singing that chorus. I know you are, because it's so good. It took me about 20 years after buying the Final Chapter. Like, I got that when it came out in, 97, 98, something like that. And I knew it was a cover, and they mentioned this band Razor, but I never looked into it because I was into death metal. I wasn't looking into these other bands that bands were covering. And I didn't really get into this band or this album until sort of in the 2010s somewhere. And this was the first album that I picked up from Razor. This is a wonderful original press, incredibly clean condition, but the title track, man, Evil Invaders. because of that cover song and that nostalgic hit, it's the song for me. For the band as well. I mean, Razor equals the song Evil Invaders for me. As a whole, the album is bigger than the sum of its parts. I mean, the tracks on here are generally all pretty fast and blasty, but this track, not blasty, but they're fast speed metal. But the Evil Invaders track, when it gets into the chorus, is quite chugging and plodding along, and that works really well for, again, your video song, because they did a video for this one as well. It's just Evil Invaders. It's so good. I love it. Death Deception in the Night, Evil Invaders, Corruption as they fight the fight, and that screech, that way he does that fight the fight, and then later on at the end of the song where he's just screaming out Evil Invaders, it was exactly like when I first heard this original. I was like, wow, Pete Tagduran really nailed it in his cover. And it made me wonder, he was originally doing very dark death metal vocals, and then he started to add in the raspier, higher pitch ones from Abducted and then on the final chapter. Was he influenced by this album or by this band, by that vocal style of Razor here to put in that higher pitch sound? Because I reckon he might have been. Evil Invaders, the best song from the best Razor album. And the last one here, it's going to be a belter of a track too. Vicious Rumours with Soldiers of the Night. I mean, with a title like track, that and this cover, it's going to be a belter of a song, and it's so good. The first thing you hear is the whole band singing the title. Just the whole band is just going Soldiers of the Night, and it's so awesome. It's a heavy mid-paced track with big open chords, a a fist raised sing-along chorus. This is a crowd pleaser. This is a big arena. Just Soldiers of the Night, so good. I love this one. Big Metal Church vibes as well, I think, to this song. The whole album, really, but in Metal Church is one I could have included. Just the band, the title, and the album all being one, Metal Church. Very similar kind of song, really. So, yeah, Soldiers of the Night, Vicious Rumours, got an amazingly good, high-quality solo in here as well. Obviously, the chorus, again, is that highlight, especially that last round, where it's nothing but the drums and the entire band commanding the crowd. We are soldiers of the night. It's just, it's commanding. It's exactly the word for it. But I also love the pre-chorus lines in this. We are thunder, burning in the acid rain. You are a coward, and I feel the pain. Man, I don't feel any pain when I listen to this one. Vicious Rumours, Soldiers of the Night, absolute cracker. There's the band. Whew, that's a hairy chest, but yeah. It is the fourth track as listed on here as well. So, yeah, not your opener, but a quality track. Vicious Rumours, Soldiers of the Night. So there you go. They're the 10 tracks I'm going to be picking for this little challenge here. 10 title tracks from albums that are the best tracks on the album. I think I picked some pretty good ones. I want to see some responses. I'm going to go check out all the responses already done. And thanks to Thomas from Mercyful Metal for putting this one together. Fun topic. Make sure you give him a like and a subscribe. And if you like this video, give me a like and a subscribe. And check out this thing. And check out this thing. I'll see you next time.